This is Sean with Gate City Foundation Drainage. Today in this video I want to go over some very common things that I see when I'm doing drainage inspections and doing inspections for houses for new purchases. So take a look at this house first. This one was, like I've said before, this one sits below the street. So anytime you have a house that sits below the street, you should be thinking about drainage problems. And what we have going on here is the water just rolls down the driveway and slams into the foundation, and we have crawl space flooding. If you also look here, you can see we have a downspout dumping in this area. And what we have is basically the water doesn't have a way to get out. You can see that they tried to form a little bit of a curb right there on the concrete whenever they poured the concrete, but that just wasn't doing it. So this whole natural area where the bushes are between the house and the concrete is just filling up with water. The water just goes right in the crawl space. Take a look here. This is how we fixed it. And you can see right here we have a couple of foundation vent wells where we brought the level of the concrete up. And you can also see we've got a dry area right there because the concrete's now kicking the water off the foundation. So the concrete in this example is acting as a barrier for the water, and it's also shedding the water off the foundation. So I want to introduce you to a method of identifying drainage problems if you're looking at a house or trying to figure out what's going on. So this is the Gate City flow method, and this is a simple system for identifying drainage concerns. The F in flow stands for foundation. So we want to be looking at things like cracks, shifting foundation. You can see efflorescence, and then oftentimes you can see black or green goo growing on the foundation where you have lots of moisture or water sitting up against the foundation. Take a look at this picture here. What we have going on here is the foundation is cracking and blowing out. But this is interesting because the cracks are all dry. And you would think that, okay, if the foundation has a bunch of water on it, the cracks would be wet and there'd be goo growing all over it. We do see that a lot. But what's happening here is the foundation below this wall there's a ton of water holding, and that's what's being crumbled and is deteriorating. So that can be, of course, seen above ground, because when you look at this area, it's a super low area and there's just a bunch of moisture hanging up against the foundation. So what we want to accomplish in this video is what did this area look like 10 years ago before the foundation started failing? Could we have identified it? And of course, could we have corrected it and then saved the foundation? So that's what we're going for in this video. This is another example, and here you can see that we have a lot of black goo and staining along the foundation. And this is, of course, indicative of raindrop splash. So we have a lot of raindrops splashing in this area and splashing up against the brick. That's keeping the brick super wet. And if you look up, you can see that we don't have any gutters in this area. So the first thing I would recommend in this area is put some gutters on here and figure out where the downspouts can go so we don't have any more water splashing. The L in flow stands for low areas. And what you want to look for here is areas that are simply low in elevation. You may not have water in them, but you probably have signs of water. So you want to look for signs like fine sediments that are hanging out, maybe some staining in different areas. Any kind of sign of low areas, hanging water, moisture that's hanging, standing water, things like that. This is an interesting example. Who would have thought that you would have the low area right up against the house? And this area, just you can see from the picture here, it just floods and you've got standing water that can't get out of there. And you know from watching this channel that water flows downhill. So if you have an area and right now it's sloping into the foundation, a couple different things you can do. You can either come up and that will give you fall away, but if you look at the picture here, you can see that we're already right up against the threshold of that door, so you can't really come up any higher. So if you can't come up to create fall, you have to go down. And that's what we did here. We cut the yard down and created a swale. The other thing I wanted to mention on this one We'll get back to it in the last step in flow, but we have an uphill neighbor that's just hemorrhaging water onto the property here. And you can see here that the driveway is also just, and this house does sit below the street as well. You can see here that we cut it down. We had to really mind our fall because we didn't have a lot to work with. But once we got fall away from the building and out into the yard and around, we were good to go. The O in flow stands for outlets and outfalls. And this part of the flow method, I really want you to look at where the gutter water is going and take a look at basically where they're discharging to. A lot of times what I see is I see that there are some kind of pipe, usually corrugated pipe, and there's an adapter going from the downspout to the pipe. Now, if you've watched this channel, you know that these adapters, they're not worth it because they constrict too much, they collect material, and they allow everything to clog up. Take a look at this video, and you can imagine if things were dry here, you would look at this and say, oh, we've got a downspout going into a pipe, no worries, right? Well, that's not the case. Here the pipe is clogged, or the adapter is clogged, somebody's clogged, and we're just hemorrhaging water straight back toward the foundation. I see this a lot, and I see it a lot where the black corrugated pipe goes in the ground, nobody ever knows where it comes out. So for the O part of flow, make sure you check where these things are discharging to. This is a video of what a discharge or an outlet should look like.
I'd say it's working well.
So in this example, you see we have tons of water flowing through our PVC pipe, and it's out at the curb here. Again, it's very important that your pipe should be discharging the water to a place where the water is no longer a problem. Here's another example. This was a fresh install that we had done, and we had put some pipe under some concrete, and the next rain I came back and it had just, all the debris that had fallen into the gutters and into the pipe got washed through the pipe. So that's another good testament to using PVC over that black corrugated pipe. Very important to have PVC that actually flows. The W in flow stands for water sources. So things like the gutters are collecting water. They're collecting a large amount of water off the roof, putting it in a downspout, and then we're concentrating it into wherever the downspout's discharging. Concrete slabs, we already looked at that. You can have driveways that, especially if the house sits below the street, the concrete slab, the sidewalk, whatever, is going to take that water and send it wherever the concrete happens to be pitching to or sloping to. Uphill areas can also be very telling on what might be going on. We already looked at this one where the concrete was sloping into the wall there. Take a look at this. If you remember this video, this was a customer who was building a garage. We're on a job, looking at this job today, and I've been talking with this homeowner for probably about 6 months. They're building this garage here. And so the problem they're having is their basement has been flooding. And so the basement is a low point here. So let me see if I can show you the lay of the land. You can see how everything is falling in here, and they're getting a bunch of water also off the neighbor up here. And the customer had called me out there pretty early on in the construction process. And that's one thing I want to take a minute to talk about here. If you are doing some kind of construction or building something and you're already thinking about drainage, you're way ahead of the game. And that'll come true. I'll show you that in just a second here. But so many times people build stuff or do stuff or change stuff or whatever, and then they realize, oh, wait a minute, we changed the way the drainage is working and now it's a problem. And take a look at this picture here. We have the uphill neighbor. We have a couple of downspouts from the uphill neighbor that are discharging in this area. And this is a garage, so we need to put a concrete driveway in. Well, take a look at what we ended up doing. If you can imagine this driveway, if they had sloped it from the left to the right toward the house, the water would all be sheeting across the driveway and going into the low area where the house sits. That would be infinitely more difficult to solve that. And because this homeowner was thinking about drainage beforehand, when I came up here, I said, okay, we can put the driveway in, but we need to slope it into the hill. We need to slope it toward the uphill neighbor. Now take a look at the lower left-hand corner here. You can see those little trails of water. We got this video right when it started raining, and those trails of water are basically showing you where the water is draining to. So yes, it's draining down the hill, but it's also draining ever so slightly toward that bank. And in this example, the driveway is the drainage solution. And the driveway works as a drainage solution because the homeowner had the foresight to think about drainage beforehand. And when I came through, when I put the driveway in, I said, okay, concrete guys, we've got to slope this driveway toward the uphill side, and that will basically function to kick all that water down the street. So this was actually, and the builder who was building this garage was just floored when I told him that this was what we were going to do. It's such a simple thing, and it makes such a huge. The other thing, it doesn't matter how much it rains here. It's never going to flow the wrong way. If you had put a channel drain or something on the other side of the driveway, it could clog, it could get overwhelmed, whatever. This is it's like whatever proof. It doesn't matter how much debris gets on here, how much it rains, it's going to work. It's going to keep working. So those are a couple of examples that I wanted to share with you. And another example of using the Gate City flow method to identify drainage concerns or drainage problems, especially when you're looking at buying a new house. And I've said it before on this channel, but I see it all the time. Home inspectors, just for whatever reason, I don't know why, they just skip, or I don't know, they just don't see these drainage problems. And probably at least a third of the calls I get, someone will say, oh, I need a quote for whatever. And I say, okay, what have you got going on? We just bought the house. That's why I'm making this video series, because I want you to be able to identify these things. It's fairly simple if you know what to look for. So with that, I will let you all go there, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care. This is Sean. I would like to thank all of you for all your continued support on the channel over the years. And if you have a story, keep sending them in the comment section. So with that, I will end this video here, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.